Hey, I'm about to tell you why your stories are so important and why it's so important that you share them with the world. Stay tuned. Hey, Nathan, advocate of awesome here, and several years ago I was doing research for psychology and copywriting, and I was all deep in these papers, and I saw this one experiment that I remember writing it down, like, this is amazing, and it shifted my focus on the importance of stories and why we tell stories. So if you just stay tuned, I'm gonna dump that out for you. So what this experiment was they took a group of 13 people. One was the facilitator, and then there was a group of other people that were listening. And they put them all in a room. And what they did is the facilitator at one point would show a picture of a bright beach, and people's visual areas would light up in their brain. And then they would take like those little books that your kids have, or your nephews or nieces, that have all the fuzzies and different crackling and different feelings. And as people interacted with those, this sensory part of their brain would light up, right? And it was, it was fascinating because they were seeing the correlation of how people's brains light up and react in the same places. But what happened next was so fascinating, and for me, like, mind-altering. But what happened was the facilitator started to tell a story. And he told a story from his own life with a lot of attention to detail. He talked about these velvet gloves and how when he ran his hand across the velvet going one way, it was smooth. But when you pull back the other way, it would stand up and tickle and tingle your fingertips as you stroke against it. And what they noticed is as he told the story, the same sensory part of the brain would light up as when they were playing with these books. And they were like, wow. And then as he continued to tell the story and they looked closer, they noticed that everybody's brains are lighting up in the same places at the same time as they listen to this story. But then on even closer inspection, they notice that the facilitator's brain is lighting up at the same places in the same time in the same way as the audience who's listening. Do you know what that means? That means that the audience was sharing the experience of the story with the facilitator. In their mind, if when you touch a book and you feel the sensations, your sensory part of your brain lights up. And when you hear a very specific, detailed explanation of what something feels like, the same part of your brain is lighting up. You're having the same experience in your mind. Right? And if the facilitator is talking about a story and they are hearing the story and experiencing it with them, they're living that story. Do you get that? Do you get how powerful that is? Right? When you tell someone a story, they're literally experiencing that story with you. What more powerful persuasion or motivator is there than the experience of something? Okay, so you've got these stories of how you transformed your thought, or how you went from one place to another, or how one of your clients went from one place to another. So you need to share those stories in a very fluid way. You have to share those stories in a way that's going to help your audience experience that story. You need to give them the details. You need to give them the sensations, the frustrations of where you were and how you struggled to learn and get over this hump. And you need to bring them through the full emotions of your story. And when you do that, you're going to touch people on a personal level. They're going to experience the things you've experienced so that they're open to what you want to do to help them move forward and have a transformation in their own life. All right, so don't be selfish. Don't hide your stories to yourself. They may seem dumb, they may seem crazy, they may seem, but if there's any way that your story can help somebody, share it. All right? Share it, because there's somebody that needs it. All right. Have a fabulous day. Thanks. Bye.